begin on Nachos, I have a question for you. Are you more afraid of hippos or HIPAA? HIPAA is the answer for me. Hippos, I can deal with them. I am here with key resource and sponsor, Gary Salman, founder of Black Talon Security, and he's going to share with us what he does to help dentists and how you can protect your office and as well give you a free resource. So Gary, for those of you who don't know you yet, share with us what you guys do and how you help dentists.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks a lot for having me. I'm Gary Salman, CEO of Black Talon Security. We have two major components of our organization. We do cybersecurity for healthcare. So we help secure your environment, secure your computers, servers, et cetera. But what we're really going to be focusing on today is our HIPAA offering. So we offer something called HIPAA 365 Portal, which is an incredible resource that allows a practice that just really doesn't even know how to start with HIPAA to actually have basically a wizard walk them through the entire process. So you don't have to be...
Provide that person in your office with some free nachos to learn, because HIPAA is something we have to do, but it's, always something that I, as a practice owner, kind of live in fear of, because it's, I'm old enough to realize when we didn't really have this, and when this came into play, I'm a big fan of the story is the star, because that's how we learn through stories. And I know as a security guy, you have great stories, but tell me a good HIPAA one where our nachos can lean forward and say, oh man, I do not want this to happen to me. And if it does, here's how to protect myself.
Right, absolutely. So we have a client up in Michigan, and they had gone through our full HIPAA solution. And they brought a patient into an operatory. And when the patient looked over at the computer screen, she realized it was not her record up on the screen, it was her neighbor. She actually made a comment to her neighbor saying, hey, I didn't know you saw Dr. Smith. And she's like, well, how did you know that? And she said, well, I saw your name on the computer screen. This patient filed a formal complaint with Health and Human Services, right? The Office for Civil Rights conducted an investigation. And it turned out that the practice was able to, they were able to provide a document to OCR, the Office for Civil Rights, showing that this employee actually signed a piece of paper saying that they would lock the computer screen right before they left the room or when they brought a patient in. So when they produced that document to OCR, OCR said, look, you did the right thing. Your team member made a mistake, retrain her, and they walked away. Right?
Yeah,
so no fines, it was easy.
I always say this, it's such a valuable learning thing right now as a medium-age practice owner that, everything that matters needs a system. Everything matters. One of the things I say. And optics are important. And whether that's, people say informed consent won't protect you from anything, but it does share a story with the patient of this may happen if you get implants or veneers, and it manages expectations. I think that's just a great example of how your client did the right thing. A nacho gets dropped, but they don't have their practice shut down because they were acting responsibly, training responsibly. So how can the nachos, and they're saying, hey, I want to do more of this, what can your platform and resource share with us how that works?
Yeah, so HIPAA 365 Portal is a cloud-based HIPAA solution. So forget the old antiquated 3-ring binders that are still being sold. And, we go into practices all the time and we're like, hey, you guys HIPAA compliant? Sure, let me pull the book off the shelf. And it's still a cellophane wrapper from 10 years ago. All right. Or look, I have the documents on my wall that my patients are supposed to look at. So we built this whole HIPAA compliance solution in the cloud. It is very, very simple to use. Everything is digital. There's no paper involved. So team members that need to take training can watch videos, and then they take a little test. And if they pass the test, they get a training certificate for HIPAA. All the documents that your team members have to sign, like a workstation use policy, which indicates the types of things they can do or can't do on their computer. They can pop it up on their cell phone, take their little finger and sign that they acknowledge Dr. Nacho's HIPAA compliance. All right, so they can do that. Then you typically have a HIPAA security, HIPAA compliance officer within the practice. They're the ones that are going to basically manage the overall compliance for the practice. So there's going to be an interface, and this interface will basically tell you all the things you need to do to try and achieve HIPAA compliance. And then we have really nice graphs, right? Saying, hey, you're at 50%, you're at 75%, you're almost there. So it basically walks you through the whole thing, because I think the problem with HIPAA right now is it's overwhelming, right? People don't even know where to start, what to do. I don't know the difference between a risk assessment and a risk analysis, but the portal basically steps you through this whole process, making it very easy. So, one of the things we want to do is we want to get this out there. We want to offer it to all your nachos. and say, hey, you can have this thing for 90 days, use it as much as you want, take, your documentation and walk away at the end, or say, hey, this is a valuable resource and I know I have to retrain my team every year. Here's a great resource.
I mean, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate it. So take advantage of this, Nacho, or even share with my office, because for 90 days, you can utilize this, see how it helps you, and then decide if you want to use this service. How does the service work after 90 days? What's an office investing in monthly for this type of training?
Yeah, so the way it works is just before the end of the 90 days, you'll get a warning saying your trial period's about to end. And then if they want to continue on, it's a 12-month contract. It's $39 a month for everything.
I mean, this is one of the things I just continually share. And I know I'm starting to sound like going from a medium age older dentist, that you don't know how lucky you guys are, because there's so many pieces of technology that we can use during this annoying pandemic to train our team, have people do stuff at home, onboard new people. And these things are just valuable ways to just raise your office game. I mean, this happens to be one that I am actually live in fear of, because HIPAA is a big deal, OSHA is a big deal, cybersecurity is a big deal. So utilize this as a mechanism to get your team on the same page. So I think it's awesome. How can they reach out to you guys to learn how they can sign up for this free 90 days? They don't have to put a credit card in. That's awesome. How can they learn more about that?
It's super easy. So you go to Black Talon Security. So it's BLACKTALON security.com/nachos. There's a one-page registration, name, address, phone number, email address. You hit submit, and then you'll be instantly sent, within a couple of minutes, you'll be sent a link for you to click on. And once you click on that, you can actually start using the portal. It's that simple.
As I'm speaking here, maybe people are watching this now or later. If you're a new practice owner, I sell practices. If you bought a practice, oftentimes you have to get things up to speed. This is a great way to get your new team up to speed in a way that you don't have to sit them down in a big meeting. We can't even have meetings in our office anymore. So I applaud you, Gary, for creating this resource, and thank you for sharing it with the Nacho community.
No problem at all. Enjoy.
Awesome. You need to reach out to us to learn more about it. Just reach out to us at salsa@dentalnachos.com. And one more time, Gary, what's the website for the group?
Sure. blacktalonsecurity.com/nachos with an S at the end.
Well, when the zoo's open again, I'm going to go see the hippos and say, you were the second thing I'm most afraid of. Not HIPAA's more scary. So thanks, Gary, for providing us with the tool. Have a great rest of the day.
You got it. Thanks.